Yesterday, a two-bit expose of the same old story that I heard yesterday. Yeah, it goes the headlines, man. They all just go to plan. Their brain, they're fixed and breaking. You know, they're all just spam. So buckle down, plug right in. It crawls its way under your skin. Just got by the things they spout. And you should give me that good news.
Why do you want good news?
Because I'm tired of the same old shit.
Woo, I guess. Hey, good morning, guys. It's Friday here at 216 The Net. And you're tuned into The Grounds with Giles and Jones. I'm Giles. He's Jones.
Hello, the most unique show 216 has to offer. Right out there, you're going to see if you punch in this HTTPS and throw it into your URL, guess what? Even Don Severson from Grapevine, Texas can jump on, be part of this show. Happy New Year, Don. Glad to have you with us, buddy. It has. We haven't, man, it seems like at least last year we talked to him.
I think it was before last year,
right?
Or I mean, before this year.
Yeah. And of course, the Grounds brought to you through the gracious support of
Cannabis CBD shop located 818 Front Street here in McHenry. If you know about CBD and its benefits, stop in, see us, have a one-on-one consultation, get what you like, and feel relaxed.
Yeah.
A lot of good news.
How was your week? Good week?
It was a good week. A lot of, like everyone else's life, we have the goods, the bads, and the uglies, but we had more goods. And
did you bump uglies?
Hey,
Never
whoa.
mind.
Different story, different show. No, it's a good week. Got a decent amount of things done. I mean, I love the snow. So I've been trying to enjoy the snow. Just out running around with the dogs and stuff, trying to enjoy it. There's nothing more relaxing for me than being out in the middle of a forest with the dogs while it's snowing. Leave the phone at home, relax. How about you? You like the outdoors?
I love the outdoors, actually, and that's just miserable. You know what? I'd rather. I mean, we've been blessed as far as not a lot of snow. And what I tell people, I'm like, this isn't a good thing. It hasn't been cold and it hasn't snowed. That means it's going to be a very buggy. It's not killing off the bugs like it's
right. A lot more ticks too.
Yeah,
they're already bad enough last year.
Yeah. So so you want to see, and I guess this next week going to be the deep freeze, and it's on the high of 17 like all week next week. So
that's what they're talking about.
It's going to be pretty cold. Mm-hmm. But the snow used to bother me. It doesn't bother me so much anymore.
I hope not. You freaking grew up in Iowa, Michigan.
Yeah, it's all right. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So what's on your mind? What do you want to talk about today, Scott? What's in the grounds today?
In the grounds today. Well, we've been talking about, like last week, we were talking about that awesome show. If you guys hadn't seen it yet, Stutz.
Yeah.
Phil Stutz and Jonah Hill. Great documentary. Or actually, what would it be? Not even a documentary. Documentary on Netflix.
I called it.
Right. Yeah. Last week we were talking about the shadow. Basically that part of your person that you don't want anyone else to see or know about, right? That you're always ashamed about, which we all have. And, it's just part of life. But there was another couple interesting topics that they hit on was the string of pearls and the snapshot. They kind of fall into the same categories of, who we are, what we are, what we look at doing, what we're trying to be and what we're trying not to be. Yeah. And those just kind of, threw right back at me. How important it is to really pay attention to that inner voice, right? And what is real and what is attainable and what's realistic, right? Because in this world with everything we got going on, all this technology and all this new stuff, are people really being realistic of what their desires, their wants, their the things that they're trying to accomplish in their life?
Yeah.
So many people are going for so many things in this world that they think they want, because technology and the rest of the world is telling them that's what they want instead of just kind of following themselves, right?
Okay.
What do you think?
I don't know.
You don't know?
He's
checking Facebook.
No, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to if people haven't seen it, I'm trying to find something that can describe this string of pearls that you're talking about. Because if people haven't seen the show,
right? So the string,
millions of listeners out there, they're like, "The fuck is that?"
Right. So well, right. I thought you were going to punch in there and help me out there, but anyway, the string of pearls.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Right. The string of pearls basically is, it's linking task after task after task every day. Little silly, I don't want to say needed tasks, but just, little things like, hey, I got up in the morning. Okay. Hey, that's one little circle. And they call it pearls because you're basically taking circles and you're joining them together with small lines. So he calls them pearls. But these pearls are little tasks that we get done every day, every part of our life, whether how large or insignificant they may be. They are little tasks that you're checking off, so to speak, in your box, right? And they're talking about, nothing is perfect. So inside these pearl boxes, there's going to be little negatives, or they call them turds. Did you find it?
Yeah. So here's a quote unquote from Stutz himself. Hey, Keith, man, how are you, man?
Good morning, Keith.
From the experts. A lot of experts in Keith's life. Congratulations, Keith. I'm excited about your new venture, which is
for
awesome.
sure.
Expert Home Services.
Expert Home Services. Yep. Yeah, you're going to be out of Algonquin and Addison, right?
Yeah, I don't know where, but we'll give more information.
Yeah, we'll definitely push more on
big supporters of the station. So I'm very excited for you, brother. All right. So he says we have to keep going. Keep going. It seems stupid, isn't that? Like simplistic. It is, but we want to say, I'm the one who puts the next pearl on the string. That's all. I know nothing else. That's called the string of pearls. That's probably the most important thing motivationally you could teach yourself. You just draw a string of pearls. There's a line, then a circle, a line, then a circle, line, then a circle. Each circle equals one action. But here's the thing. Every action has the same value. This is a matter of identity. Who am I? I'm not great. I'm not shit. I don't want to look at myself and think. I look at myself just in terms of the habits with which I take action. If there's a failure or big success, by the way, either way, you're going to keep going. I'm the person that puts the next pearl on the string. That's it. There you go.
Good morning, Mr. Krejci. Look who just chimed in with us. So in case you didn't understand Kent's awesome reading, it's basically just putting one foot in front of the other, right?
Yeah. Expert Home Solutions.
Expert Home Solutions. Yeah.
You got it.
So, but I mean, basically what you described is putting one foot in front of the other, and every task is a task that needs to be done. There's no greater value or lesser value in that task. It's something that you need to do, right?
Yeah.
Something to move forward, which is something we should all be doing every day, is moving forward in one way, shape, or another, right? I mean, we do get kicked back. I mean, what is that? One step, or I take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's okay. You're still making progress. Not to give up. Keep this momentum going. I think is a little
feedback, boys.
Kind of putting that.
Got him in studio. Hi,
we
brother.
got Mike Krejci here live in the studio with us today. Good morning. Good morning.
Well, he's live in his studio.
Live in his studio with us.
Oh, I'm getting double feedback here. Hold on. I think.
Well, you got to jump off of Facebook. It's probably if you're still on.
I was
Facebook.
listening. Yeah, I was listening on Radio Jar.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, out there. You can go to TuneIn Radio. You can go to Apple Music. We're all over the place. 35.5 million subscribers. It's fun. Shayna says, the difference between a pushover and a scoot over is voluntarily adjusting your boundaries to make a temporary allowance in the behavior of others. Morning.
Good morning, Shayna.
So are you a pushover or a scoot over? And Lee, how are you? Lee Newton Rose says, good morning, y'all.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah. So you've watched that, yeah, Krejci?
Yes, I have. I've watched it a couple times now.
And the string of pearls, what's your take on it?
I think the string of pearls just keeps you moving forward. To me, the way I took that, right?
Yeah.
Celebrate the wins.
We'll celebrate the wins and just keep moving forward, no matter what they are, right? Keep every day we have different tasks, everything we have to do to keep moving forward, right? And it's important to know that no matter what, you've got to do that and accept that inside that one pearl is going to be one, potentially bad aspect of it, right? There's always going to be some type of negative, but trying to push that aside and realize that you did make some type of stride forward, some type of accomplishment. not everything comes easy. Not everything comes without trials and tribulations.
Right. Through the greatest struggles comes the best things too. So
absolutely.
That's what she said.
He's in rare form this morning, guys. Let me tell you, hands all fired up.
I'm sorry about that. It's cold outside. All right. So here's the deal. The deal is we human beings tend to think that we matter in a big portion to this blue marble that we're on. And so we get all bundled up and go, oh my gosh, well, this string of pearls is great. Just it's an action, just move. Blah, blah. When in all reality, your world is not this blue marble. Your world is about a mile and a half radius around you. That's it. Period. Done. We're blessed here, right? Because we do reach around the world with 216 Creative Studios and 216 Net, which is awesome. So we can have these kind of conversations, but in all reality, the news people take these smartphones and they go, yeah, hey, you can use my location. Yeah, that's cool. All you're getting is news feeds and crap that's in your area.
Right. That's fed to your specific location.
So
right.
So our world is so small, but we grew up believing that it is so big and it matters. It doesn't matter. I've spent my entire life living in the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been out of America. Maybe once to Canada when I was a kid. But it wasn't that memorable.
Hey. Yeah. Hey.
Yeah. Hey. And there are people who are well traveled. I get it. But at any given time, your world is only maybe a mile and a half around you. That's it.
If even that, really,
right?
Realistically, your world and is you, your family, and those who really matter the most to you. Don't even have to be related to you, but your inner sanctum, if you will, right? I mean,
hey, this is a family show,
right?
I'm just talking about.
But like the internet and all this stuff is, it's making people look beyond. Oh, this is what you need. This is what you need. You need to do this. This is what the perfect life looks like. Pushing people down different ways and pushing them away from their home base. Basically, that's not the way it really is. I mean, everything you need, you like Kent said, mile and a half around you is a lot less than that. It's just everything's right there in front of you, and creating the tasks and going through all the actions that you do is for you. It shouldn't be for other people. And unfortunately, we've lost that. Everyone's doing a lot of things because this is, I think, what they feel they should do, or what's,
What do you mean?
Well, you say your world's all around you and people are well traveled, and too many people in the world, I feel, today are just trying to do things, or they're doing things because that's what they feel is expected of them, not necessarily what they want. And they're pushing through what other people's agendas feel that they feel what other people feel they should be doing for themselves, instead of just doing what they want for themselves and taking care of their own little world. Other people are too involved in too many other people's worlds and too many other conversations that they really shouldn't put their face into.
Very true. I would agree with that.
Pops jumps on. Robert, Giles, how are you? The string, quote unquote, is life, and the pearls are events, progress in life, and better than perfection. Just keep moving forward. That's life.
Right. Progress in life is better than perfection, right? Because there is no such thing as perfection, right? And that's the whole idea behind the string of pearls, is to keep moving forward, right? Keep stringing those together one at a time. It's not going to be perfect, but hey, do the next task. Figure out what needs to be done, what you need to take care of, and take care of that and move forward and continue to grow and change, because that's what world is about. That, if you watch the show,
that's
right?
what your world is about. That's not what the world is about.
You don't
People don't want to move forward. People, they don't.
No. A lot of people
Right?
are just happy with just sitting around doing nothing, and that's that's part of the problem. Is there's so many people that are lazy and don't want to, better themselves or better their family. It doesn't have to mean financially, but just helping their family out to grow, be good people, to help the world. I mean, everybody these days is, actually, I always say everybody. I get so generalized, but is more out for themselves than they are for everybody else. I mean,
since the beginning of time.
True.
Listen, if I walked out of the cave and T-Rex was there, guess what? I'm not worried about you.
No, God, no, you're worried about right.
Right. So what we've done is as a species, right? As a human, is you have to live your life the way that makes sense to me.
You do you, man. You do you.
Wait, what was that?
You do you. You do you.
Well,
you take care of yourself. Of course.
But the truth is, if I'm doing me in your world, in your mile and a half, you don't like it.
Not necessarily.
Well, then why do we have people in prison?
Well, that's that they choose their attitude. They choose their path.
Well, I know, but that's what I'm saying. You did you in my circle. I didn't like it. Now you're in prison. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right.
But did they end up in prison because they were trying to do something you thought they should do?
Amen, Don. I don't have to be faster than the T-Rex. I just have to be faster than you.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Again, taking care of himself.
Right. Well, first and foremost, you do need to take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of others. Right. But part of
why I just have to run faster than you. I ain't going to take care of you. So where does this come from as a human? Why do I feel the need that I have to take care of Shayna? Why is that?
Connection.
Hey,
connections with everybody.
If there's a shooter, I might grab her and put her in front of me.
You don't have to. You don't. Here's the thing.
You get to choose that,
but you don't have to. Right? Life is about choices. If you choose to bring people into your life or to help people along, that's what you want, right? You have to take care of yourself first. If you don't take care of yourself, nothing's going to happen.
Oh yeah. Hey, let's talk about the oxygen mask now on the airplane.
You want to do that?
Well, you put yours on first, then your kids. Got to take care of you first.
Well, you do, right?
Well trained. Yeah. Well
self-preservation.
Well trained. I like that. Oh, look, Don. Good morning. Don's in too. Wow.
Hello.
But yeah, I mean, realistically, if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of others. You just can't. But you choose to let in the people that you let into your life, and you choose to let the things in your life bother you that do. I mean, it really comes down to you and what you allow and don't want to allow and what you want out of it.
What in your life bothers you?
Wow, that's a pretty large question.
There's probably one or two things that bother you. Stupid people bother me. I might be a stupid person, but if they're stupider than me, it bothers me. You're dumb, not you.
Right? No, I know. Believe me, I get it.
Idiots. You can't fix stupid.
You can't fix stupid, and don't try to fix stupid. Just understand, right? Understand that that's what it is.
That's really it,
and you can't change it. I choose not to try to fix stupid.
If I'm working on something and I throw a hammer through the wall, it's because I've been stupid. And I'm like, and then you after breaking your hand by punching the wall, you go, oh, I got it figured out now.
Well, I think our other guest is having a hard time talking. We can't hear him.
Oh, sorry, Don. Go for it.
Oh, we can't hear you, Don. No sound.
You're gonna have to adjust your mic. While he's adjusting his
let's
mic.
Go ahead and read Shayna's comment here.
Go ahead.
Shayna says, I don't think we are meant to be empathetic to situations that nature wouldn't present. The need is beyond our capabilities. I'm the unassuming white-haired lady that's carrying. I got you, Kent.
Yeah. See? All right. Yes.
Well, see, we knew Shayna tuned in every Friday just to see you, Kent. See now?
Hey, now listen, that is the T-shirt of the day. The unassuming white-haired lady that's carrying.
Right? Hey, and that's true. That's true.
That's it. But, Don, did you fix your mic? Oh, I don't know what's going on. You look good though, man.
I was gonna say, hey. No tan though. What's going on down there in Texas? Well, I mean, so it's not up to us to help to fix stupid, as you say, right?
No, but it is. That's what you're saying.
I didn't say I'm here to fix stupid. I'm here if I choose to help people along that are in my mile or mile and a half that you talk about in my life, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I want to do to keep me moving forward. What's wrong with that?
Well, I didn't say there's anything wrong with that. But you're not doing it to help the people. You're doing it to make you feel better.
Wrong.
Make yourself feel better.
Wrong.
No.
Well, a little bit of both. I would say a little bit of both.
Wrong. Don't say I'm
but
wrong.
But don't when you help people, don't you feel better?
When you help people, what?
Don't you feel better?
I absolutely do. I think he's asking you,
No,
Kent, because you're nailing me down. I
No, that's what I
100%.
said. You're not
I 100% feel better when I help people.
You're not helping them to help them. You're helping them to make you feel better.
Not necessarily.
No, I don't do it just to make me feel better. I enjoy it because that's just the way I am. I don't even know why I honestly enjoy helping people.
We need more random acts of kindness for sure. We need more people doing that, helping each other, and with nothing in return. I do that all the time. And I don't talk about that with anybody, but I'll do stuff just as random acts of kindness for people every day.
Well,
and it's not for me.
Well, you feel good about it,
right? Well, let me ask you this: Do you think? And
I don't do it to brag.
Do you think?
No,
maybe
that's correct. You don't do it and brag because that's a lot of the reward for people.
Correct. Right? I just do it because it's the right thing to do for people.
It's the right thing to do, and you probably enjoy when people do things like that for you as well, right? I mean,
absolutely.
For me, that's just the way the world. That's just what makes the world go round. And I know a lot of people disagree with me, but I'm just in a much better place when I'm working with people that have similar thoughts and similar mindsets like you. I enjoy helping people and doing those little random acts of kindness, right? Yeah, does it help me? Absolutely, but
admit
the golden rule. It's the golden rule.
Come on. Admit the dopamine game.
Admit the dopamine game.
Yeah, you like that little rush. Woo. All right.
I don't know too many people that don't like that rush.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's what she said.
Right.
I just look at it as a golden rule. It's the golden rule. Treat people like you want to be treated. If I go around and treating everybody good, I hope I get treated right.
Right.
It's not for a rush. It's not for dopamine.
Right. Well, and for me, it just makes for a more pleasant day and a more pleasant life experience. Other than walking around, I mean, right now, other than walking around seeing just miserable people that everyone's unhappy and complaining about everything. Yeah. Oh, Don's popping back in. Let's see if we got it this time. Johnny, you there?
You hear me now?
All right. Welcome.
Texas. Good morning.
Modern technology. Got to love it. I was trying to say earlier, Kate, when you said stupid people bother you, I said, is that why you bother yourself so much? That's all I wanted to say this
Thank
morning.
Goodness he's in Texas.
That's what my therapist says while I'm drawing circles and lines.
You putting that little dot inside that circle?
And Scott, no, I don't have a tan. It's been a little chilly. It's only been getting up into like the low 50s lately, so it's been a little chilly.
Wow.
Well, you better wrap your pipes.
Yeah, right.
I want those to burst, especially.
Yeah, the way they build houses around here, that's true.
That's right.
Yeah, no insulation needed.
Listen, that's what all that I'm saying is. What does Bob say? Perhaps I'm quote unquote stupid, but please define the stupid you can't fix. No, you're not stupid. To me, in my world, okay. So if somebody steps into my world, and they lack a lot of common sense, they, hey, why do you continue to hit your head against the wall? Well, because it feels good when I stop. That you can't fix. You can't fix that. Right.
Well, it's got good logic behind the argument.
Right. It's the people, and stupid to me are the people who are so close-minded to anything that they don't seek to first understand.
No, a lot of people don't.
Right?
They don't seek to understand.
They just, hey, I don't give a shit what you say. This is. And now, if you're in your world and not mine, I don't care. But if you're in my world, if you're in my mile and a half, now it's a different story, right? And if there's that stupid, he's a big dumb animal, everybody, right? And I'll either keep you there, pet you, and throw rocks at you, or dog food or something so you can eat. But that's the stupid that I think you can't fix in my world. Now,
Deke, I would say, Deke, we probably all have areas within where we are stupid individually. To your point, we all have our, there might be areas and blind spots in our own personalities that I think we probably all can. I think we've all been stupid at some point, and certainly certain topics we can be stupid on. What I think I agree with you a lot about is there's probably nothing more aggravating when somebody has no idea what they're talking about, but they're as confident when they're wrong as when they are right. Right.
Yeah.
And the other thing, and I almost hate to use this analogy, but what is stupid? Hate to use this, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's kind of like the old thing about pornography. You'll know it when you see it. I think that's what stupid's like too. It's what you see it. You know it when you see it, don't you?
No,
That's true.
and now I've never seen pornography, so I don't.
So I hear you. I'm with you, brother.
Go back up. Shayna's
Her
got a
ass
really
cold.
good one.
I like that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if she mistyped it, Shayna. So Shayna types in. She goes, "Well, actually, go one up, and then we'll come down to that one." So the first one she says,
Made up a new word.
Yeah. So she says it's 100% selfish. If hurt people hurt people, it's to my advantage to help you stay positive. Then she quotes back in saying, "Ask hole, ASK hole."
That's stupid, right? That
Yeah,
should be
stupid.
her definition.
Right. Her definition is stupid. Someone who keeps asking advice and never taking it.
Right.
Good point.
I mean, you see that all the time, right?
Yeah.
What do I need to do? Well, you do this, and then they just go off half-cocked and they don't do anything again. So what does Bob have to say there, Ken?
Yeah. Is this dialogue an offshoot of the old saying, "The whole world is crazy except for thee and me, and sometimes I wonder about thee."
No.
I've never heard that saying. So
Really?
yeah.
Must be a really old one.
Yeah, it is a pretty old one. Yep.
I always go back to your kids in the marching band. You go, "Oh, look, little Johnny's the only one in step," right?
Of course, you're gonna see it's good. It's your kid, right? I mean, you're the only one that's gonna take care of that, and you need to be the one there for your kid to pump them up, right? I mean,
yeah. And willful ignorance is different than stupid. It's like stupid on purpose. Yeah.
Stupid.
I went to high school with willful ignorance.
Yeah, well, that's
that's another. Yeah, you'll see it. You'll know it when you see it.
That's that Forrest
on the back
Gump
side of
quote,
that
right?
T-shirt. Yeah.
That stupid is as stupid does.
Yeah.
What does stupid do? I don't know.
But you know it when you see it.
Ask my wife what I did last night.
It usually starts. What's that? The old Darwin Awards. I always said every one of them starts with "Watch this."
Yeah.
Now they're YouTube and all that stuff.
Hold my beer.
Yeah. Hold my beer.
And the reason that I bring this up, and then we've kind of got going down this rabbit hole, is you were talking about this string of pearls, and the right. Pearl is just an action. The hard part of that, and that's why I say it's got to be in your world, that action. But a lot of the action that people take are trying to impress. I'm trying to impress people in Don's world right now, in his mile and a half, or I'm trying to impress things in. I think this action that I'm going to take is going to set me on the blue marble stage, and the people who are in Mike's world right now are going to be like, "Whoa, did you see that pearl?"
Right,
right. When the truth is, the people on the north end of town don't even see the pearl.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Well, what you're saying there is a very valid point. Is that a lot of people are bringing into their lives and into their accomplishments, or trying to accomplish things that they think that, I think Kent might want to see me accomplish, right? Worried about what you think about my life and what I'm going to do with my life, instead of doing what you want to do and moving forward with how you want to move forward, because it's all different for everybody. Even though we're the same, it's all different, and how you approach things. And
what do you mean we're the same?
Well, we're all human beings. We have our brain. We have to do certain things to survive. We all have the basic needs, right? But some people's needs, past the basics, some people need to make sure that they're making other people happy by doing the things that they do, or are trying to accomplish things that somebody else thinks that they should do. And so they think I should do it. I should probably do that because that's just what's acceptable, right? I mean, some people live to please other people instead of pleasing themselves and doing what they want to do. They're doing what they think other people expect out of them. And that's a big problem, right? You, on the other, I don't see that in you. I feel like you do everything because that's just what you want to do. I don't think any outside influence really pushes too hard on your head.
Whoa,
right?
Wait, if
at least
Alice
other than your wife,
something, yeah.
Right, but other than your wife, and that's good because you're keeping it at home, so to speak. You're keeping it in your mile and a half, in your control zone, right? Instead of worrying about what Scott thinks Kent should do, you don't care. right? Or how I think you should accomplish something or what I think you should accomplish. You don't care. You're going to do what you want to do because that's your life. And that's the way it should be. As long as you're doing what you want to do and you're not hurting people intentionally by doing what you're doing.
I'm a believer that the happiest people are the ones who truly find joy in doing things for other people.
I agree.
But they're not doing it for the purpose of looking good to them. They're actually enjoy doing good for other people. I'm kind of envious of some people seem to have that gene that, and I've always said it's kind of one of those things. It's hard to be stressed or feeling sorry for yourself when you're serving someone else. So I think it's in that vein, but yeah, there are some people, and like you said, we all have kind of the same basic underlying traits as human beings, Scott, but we're all provided different gifts, and that's a wonderful gift that if you get joy from helping other people.
So the issue is the issue is, Don, is that
Excuse me.
A big percentage of human beings don't understand or don't practice mindfulness, right? Christians will call it centering prayer. Buddhists call it a Zen, being in the moment, right? Those people that you talk about, and we all know the big five, right? Mother Teresa, you know what I'm saying?
Dalai Lama.
You know, is those people practiced mindfulness. They were in the moment. To Mike's statement, and I know Mike very well for a long time, you know, and he practices, you know, I will say martial arts, but it's really Eastern philosophy, I think we would say, and
which comes down to basic mind control, right?
Well, practicing mindfulness. When he does things, he's not doing it for the, oh, hey, thanks, buddy, you're a good guy, right?
Right. He's doing it to help himself.
He's in the moment. Mother Teresa was in the moment. And oh my God, how do you give yourself like that? Well, she didn't give two shits about 10 minutes down the road.
Right.
She didn't give two shits about the person's
and she
reaction.
didn't give shit about reaction. Yeah.
I'm probably.
It's also ego. It's also ego. Right. Letting that ego go. I don't have an ego. I want everybody to prosper. I want everybody to do well. You know, yes, you have stupid people. I don't like to call people anything negative, but it's still just doing the right thing.
I call it pot black, you know, kettle black, right? Yeah. I mean, if it's black, it's black. If it's white, it's here we go. It is what it is.
Tune in to Bridging Simultaneous.
Yeah, right. Right after this show.
Yeah, and that's exactly it, Mike. And not enough people do that because I think they're worried about a bigger world, or you know, I want to have such an effect on your world, on your circle, that you know, I'm gonna pay for your coffee, let's say, and then I'm gonna watch your reaction.
Kent's smiling if you can't see that right now.
and if Scott doesn't look at me and go, hey, thanks, you didn't have, you know, whatever, right? Then my day's like, motherfucker. Ungrateful bastard. Yeah, right. I bought him a mocha.
I've never
That's like $12. That's like $12.
So I mean, for
my
me,
day then,
right? You brought that up, and that's a good point. I mean, for me, I don't do it for the person to come up to me. Like I buy coffee or breakfast for people, you know, a couple times a month, you know, use just like at McDonald's or something like that, a coffee, whatever. But for me, it's just knowing that I might have changed that person's day, right? Just by giving them something so simple. I'm not looking for them to come up and recognize me and say thank you and hey, this is who it was brought to you by. It's, you know, I know how I felt because I've had it done to me over the years, and to do something nice like that, you know, you could be changing in somebody that's had just the absolute worst freaking day, absolute worst week, worst month, by buying something so simple, stupid. And does it really affect your life? You know, I mean, is it going to be that detrimental? No.
I think it's more.
You wait around for the reaction, Scott?
Oh,
no, not at all. No,
right,
I just when I pay for my stuff, I say, hey, you know, I want to pay for the car behind me. You know,
I think it's more fun to do it and and just imagine what their reaction was. If I've ever done like that by, just pay for somebody's meal or something, I always do it where as I'm leaving. So they'll sit around wondering who it was. I don't know. I think I find it more fun for myself, which is probably selfish.
Agreed.
Another way of being selfish, but I always think it's more fun to imagine their reaction.
Why would you say that? Why would you call that selfish? That's
I don't
not
know. I guess because I got something out of it.
Or anything like that. You're doing it because you feel good, and it was probably done to you at some point in your life, and you remember what you felt like, right?
Yep.
Well, when you're putting good out there, the good should come back to you. And if you feel good by doing it, you can imagine whatever you need to imagine there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's what they say, karma, right? I mean,
yeah,
you get back what you put out there in the world, right? And that is God honest truth. You do. If you're an asshole and you treat enough people bad enough, it's going to come back to you. Is it going to hit you right away? Not necessarily, but it will. It's just the way the world works.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, Scott. I have a story from a guy that I worked with. I'm talking like 30 years ago now, that I used to tell a colleague of mine, he's doing terrible things, but it'll catch up with him. It'll catch up with him. I left that company. I bet it was 10 years later, and I hadn't talked to this gal in years. She calls me out of the blue, and she said, I remember what you said about so-and-so, that someday it would catch up with him. So he got fired today because he did XYZ wrong. And she remembered me saying that and called me 10 years later to say, you were right. It caught up with him. It took 10 years, but it caught up with him. I believe in that. If you wrong people, at some point it does catch up. Maybe not as fast as we would like it to happen, and it's not really our place to make it happen many times. So it shouldn't be our place to make it happen, but it is. I agree with you, Scott. What goes around comes around is a cliche for a reason, isn't it?
Oh, all those statements. I mean, all those statements really have huge validity to them. It's just once you finally realize, that's what they meant, Yeah. Just like when you're a kid, your parents or your grandparents always said, "You are what you eat." I mean, that statement you used to laugh your ass off. That really? Yeah. What?
All right. Shady says serial givers are just as imbalanced as the overtakers. The fake filtered ego-centered world is promoting empathy as a revenue driver. Bring back the gold coin donations from the anonymous. It just makes me itchy. Yeah.
We accept anonymous donations.
We'll take
Drop a gold coin at 216, please.
That's when gold had a value. Anyway,
I mean, one thing that you can also say, and I've thought about at times, with people that are the helpers and the givers and stuff like that, I feel like, maybe sometimes for some people, it's easier for people to help others than helping themselves, right? So sometimes it's easier for somebody to tell somebody how to do or to help someone do something because they can't do it for themselves, right?
What?
Yeah.
It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
Kent doesn't know. He's asleep this morning.
What are you talking about?
So, right. We like to.
We don't understand the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Yeah, right.
I perplexed him this morning, right? No, but just like, so it's easier for me to make myself feel better by helping you because it's an instant gratification than helping myself, right? Like it's harder to make myself feel better about myself because
right, but 10 minutes ago you just argued against that point.
I can do that. That's part of life. I can argue. If you haven't noticed on this show, I like to argue both sides. I'm like
literally that's what I said. You go no.
I'm like waffle back and forth because I can argue both sides. I like to get people riled up and, as you call it, poke the bear.
Yeah. Do we not help ourselves by helping others?
Yeah,
I think so.
Somewhat. Some people, there's different reasons that people do it. Some people want the gratification. Some people do it just because they're good, honest, loving people and caring people. They want to change
the right thing to do.
It is the right thing to do.
Why is it the right thing to do?
I just think it is. I just think helping others is the right thing to do. It's not the wrong. I wouldn't say it's the wrong thing to do.
Well, that's what we've been taught. That's it, right?
That what? Helping others is the wrong thing?
No, that it's the quote unquote right thing to do.
Well, I would be hard pressed to be convinced otherwise that helping others is not a good thing or right thing to do.
I mean, no matter who you are, where you're from, I think in some way, shape, or form, you've all been taught that it's good to help others, right? To share.
That's what we've been
sharing
taught.
Your knowledge, sharing your empathy, your compassion.
That's what I'm saying. That's what we've been taught.
We are all brothers.
We've been brainwashed.
Well, they are getting brainwashed. There are agendas out there. I mean, You know, there's a lot of things that are going on in the world that people don't even realize are happening, and they're programming and changing our thoughts, you know, and that's a whole nother show, right? As far as, you know, agendas and how things are changing. I mean, Kent always uses the analogy, you know, we're in a pot of water and they're slowly turning up the heat, right? Like the frog's not going to jump into boiling water, but he will sit in the water and you can slowly turn up the heat.
So do you think that helping is innate, inborn? Right.
That's a good question, actually. I don't know. Is it that's a nature versus nurture question, wouldn't it be? Innate?
No, she said the question is, do you think helping is innate?
Innate.
I'm going to argue that it's not.
Well, okay. So what's the definition? Just so I make sure, what is the definition of innate? Does anyone have that offhand? Or are we going to have to Google that, Ken?
I think she means, are you born with it? Is what I'm going to say.
That's what I'm saying, right?
I'm going with it. Yeah.
I don't. That's a nature versus nurture question. Yeah. I think, right? I mean, I know for us, we've nurtured our children to be loving and to want to help and to be giving, to share with others. Would they have done that without us telling it?
We wouldn't have to. If it was innate, we wouldn't have to teach our children to say please and thank you, to be nice to others, to not poke their brother or sister in the eye.
Yep.
But helping versus common sense, isn't that common sense versus helping? As the two, there's no differentiation.
Those are two different things. It's like apples and oranges.
I like apples and oranges. Can we figure out how to put them together?
It's a fruit salad.
It's a fruit salad. Hey, don't call me a fruit. I don't know, Shana. That is a good question. Do you think it's innate? I mean,
so here's the idea of the string of pearls, and what was said on the string of pearls is there's no one action that's bigger than another, right? They're all the same size pearl.
Right.
There's nothing you can do. You can't take a big step. You can't take a big action. That's what I said. An action is just an action. But in our minds, we tend to think and look at this entire conversation is we tend to think, right, that if I help somebody, that's a bigger action.
It's just an action.
Right? No, because hey, it's the right thing to do. Is the wrong thing to do a smaller action?
Well, not the way it's described with the string of pearls, right? Every action has the same value, right?
No, pearls might be all the same size, but some of them might be, a good color, and some might be a bad color in terms of good and bad. Yeah, I mean,
that's not what it. But here's the.
I don't know the show, so I'm a little bit.
There's the justification. There's the justification to make me feel good for doing an action.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a little better color because I helped someone else. No, it's just an action.
Yeah, I think we're talking about the difference between the action and the motivation of the action. Yeah, I think is where we're.
Well, yeah, the motivation of the action is a different part, but the action itself is there's no greater value. Every action is just an action. It's moving forward, right?
Listen, if your world is in Africa, you don't go swimming in the Nile. Okay? You come over here to America, and the Mississippi looks a lot like the Nile. And we'll go swimming in the Mississippi. The person from Africa goes, well, you're crazy. Get out of the water. You're going to die. Something's going to eat you. Piranhas, snake, gator, something. And we're like, get in the water. It's nice.
Yeah, you only got water snakes there.
Right? So again, it goes back to the size of your world and what you know and what your experiences and what the only thing that your brain has adjusted to make sense to keep you alive. And so we say, man, I want to treat other people like I want to be treated. When in fact, I want other people to treat me better. I'm going to treat people. I'm going to ride people's bumper when they cut me off. I'm going to flip them off. I'm going to do a lot of things.
You're going to get that right back.
I got to grab this.
Right. Uh-oh. Take his phone call. All right. Good night, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Well, I mean, with this comment, I mean, what he's talking about, you're going to get back. You get back what you put out there in the world. You were talking about that earlier, Don. It takes time, but what you put out there is going to come back to you no matter what you do. A day, a week, a month, a year, 10 years. That's just the nature of the universe itself, right? It's karma. And for me, once again, as the person that enjoys helping people, I don't feel bad about that. And someday it will come back. For me, it'll come back to me. I'm not looking for it to come back to me, but when it does, and I know that because I've been a good person, these good things happen to me, right? It's a hard thing to explain to people, especially to Kent, knowing and wanting to help people, right? And feeling good about that. I don't think he really understands the whole, how it, just warms your heart inside. I mean, Mike, Don, I don't know exactly, I haven't known you a ton of time about that, but I know Mike in the same type of comments, how those little simple things that you do for people, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know that guy, instead of going home and kicking the dog, right, might go home today and, give good comments and love back to the family because let's just say you bought him coffee or let him get in front of you in traffic because you could tell he was in a hurry into you. 5 extra seconds of driving, or waiting in line is no big deal. But to some other people, it is a big deal. Let them have these little things, right?
But even some of those people that are doing that, you don't know what's going on through their head, at that moment. They could be going through the worst part of their life at that point, and you just brightened it, like you said. It could be, or they could have just lost somebody that was significant to them, and they are in complete disarray, and they just need a little boost by somebody. It's not all that's just stupid people out there. Like there's a yin yang to everything, right? There's good and evil in everything. That everybody does. That energies. Absolutely. Nobody's perfect. A lot of people are trying to, I'm not striving to be perfect, but you also watch the show Stutz as well. And Don, this is something you should look at. They also talk in that show about the snapshot. Remember that part of it? The snapshot, the perception of the perfect reality picture we're all trying for. No such thing as perfect, no matter what it is, no matter in life, right? Yeah. Doing the little things that make you happy and makes life better for you and hopefully for others. And it's adapt, change, overcome the situation, every situation. You're never going to get to that perfect picture, but you at least gives you something to think about and strive for. Well, give it something to strive for. But it don't have to be perfect. Nothing's ever perfect in this world, like you said. Well, what's the old saying is, shoot for the moon, but if you don't hit the moon, at least you're among the stars, right? You're trying. There's no such thing as perfect, but as long as you're giving that extra effort and stringing those pearls along one by one, right, to try to get to your snapshot, if you will, which will never come to fruition because it's unrealistic to have perfection. It just is. Agreed. And understanding that and helping people understand that is huge because there's so many people out there that are striving for perfection or to have this life that, social media says that they need to have, or our world is saying this is where you need to be instead of being and doing what they want to do, right? Being individualistic about things like that.
So,
Kent's back.
That's him moaning and groaning. Yeah.
Well, here's the tough thing that we tend to believe and have accepted as truth, which is the farthest thing from the truth. And that's what I just heard. You'll never have perfection. That's a lie. You can have perfection. I may not have Don's definition of perfection or Mike's definition of perfection, but I can have my definition of perfection, right? But we've been taught and programmed to say, no, nothing will ever be perfect but wait, if I define perfect as something, this show is perfect. It may not be in everybody's listening ears, but to me, this show is perfect. Why? Because it's a bunch of people having a good conversation. That's what the whole show is designed for. Right. We could walk out of here and say, hey, good show. No, it's a perfect show.
What's the definition of perfect?
Correct.
I was just going to say, and I think it's different I think it's different for everybody, right?
Make me look it up.
So we've been told you'll never hit perfection. No, I'll never hit Mike's perfection. Perhaps, or your perfection,
right?
Or I can hit my perfection,
right? As long, depending on what your definition of perfection is, right? but the outside world definition, right? And so, and
You
that's
understand
right.
what I'm saying?
No, I totally get it, and that's why
and that's where I said is my world's a mile and a half. My world is right here, what I know. But I'm so worried about everybody else's world with my pearl. Oh, that's not perfect. No, it's not perfect in your world. It's perfect in my world. Happy, crappy little family I have, perfect in my world. Do we do crazy things and things, quote unquote, wrong or whatever? Sure.
that's part of life, right?
To other people's world, but maybe not to ours, right? I'm just that's all that I'm saying. And if you happen to if your world, if you take a look at like the Olympic rings, if your circle, your world interconnects with mine for a small piece, unless they're absolutely overlapped, there's just a little bit of your world and mine.
Right. We touched briefly.
Right. And so I now have to worry a little bit about your world. And it's okay for me in my world to go, you know what? I'm gonna pay for your gas, or
Oh, please do. I'll meet you at the gas station.
and listen to what I'm about to tell you, folks. All the millions and millions of listeners out there. A random act of kindness is not buying a goddamn coffee. Period. That makes you what? No, that means hey, I got extra money. I'll spend it on this guy over here.
It's not
Right?
sacrificial usually, is it?
Oh, but that doesn't. But hold on. Buying a coffee isn't about the monetary expense. It's about changing somebody's mindset. For me, right? I'm trying to change somebody's mindset and make them hopefully help them have a better day. Even though I don't know if they had a good day or bad day anyway. But for me, I know when I get that, it makes my day better. It's not about right. No. When I had somebody when I had somebody buy me something, so I rephrase it. When I had somebody buy me something, it made my day better. So in turn, I am able to do that for others, right? Because I remember what it did for me. It's not about the fact that I'm spending $1 or $6 or whatever the cost may be. It's about the fact that I'm trying to make a difference in somebody else's life that day.
No, you think you're trying to. That's what you just said.
It matters, to me, it only matters what I think I'm doing and what I feel, what I'm trying to accomplish. But what I'm trying to accomplish, because I know what it felt to me. All right, then you can leave.
That's what
he's going to mic drop.
That's what I've said the whole time. Dana says, you know what? I'm with Mike. Perfection is not real. The definition of it within yourself is too volatile. Perfection at 12 is different at 50. Absolutely.
Oh my God, absolutely.
Hey, Facebook user.
Good morning.
Welcome, Facebook user.
Smiley face.
Perfect Facebook user.
Yeah, one thing I would like to say about the cup of coffee thing is sometimes we always feel like we have to have the in order to. I did this in order to get. I'd like to think sometimes when I bought somebody a cup of coffee, well, why'd you buy them a cup of coffee? Because I wanted to buy them a cup of coffee. Period. Yeah, period.
Period.
Yeah. There doesn't have to be in order to make them feel better, in order to make me feel better. I just felt like buying them a cup of coffee. It doesn't have to be that complicated.
Kindness. I gave my kidney to somebody who needed one.
That's pretty kind.
That's
That's better. That's bigger than a cup of coffee. I'll give you that.
That's not a random. That's not a random act of kindness. That's a well thought. No, that's a well thought out.
That's true.
Random. It happens. You don't put it really any big thought into it. It's just something that happens. It's quick. It's easy. It's done. Giving a kidney is something you need to think about. That's
that's
major
something
life decision.
you need to think
No,
about.
you
That's
need to
why
think
it's
about
not
it.
a random act of kindness for you.
It's
a random act of kindness is somebody on Facebook goes, "Oh my God, I need a kidney." I go, I find out I got the same one. Good, give it to him. Done.
No,
There's a random act of kindness. Done.
I gotta go, guys.
All right, Mike.
Have a great day.
Congratulations on the new shop, buddy.
Nice to meet you,
Thanks.
Mike.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah,
I disagree.
No, in your world, that's not a random act of kindness. In mine, it is. So you can't say I disagree.
But I don't see how giving someone a kidney or something is considered random. That has a lot of thought.
Because when I woke up this morning, I wasn't going to give it to him.
That's a life-changing decision for two people, right?
That's a random act.
That's
of
more,
kindness.
dude. That's more. That's more of a, that's almost like not a miracle, but that's you're changing somebody's life considerably. Get me getting
It's still
somebody,
random. You don't give a lot of kidneys out, so I would
you
agree that
don't,
it's still
but that's
random.
okay, so
you hear
all right,
that? Says
all right.
it's still random.
All right,
you
so-
don't give a lot of kidneys away.
To me, all right. So
Not
to
more
me,
than one.
but to me, when I think of random act of kindness, and this is just my
Yeah,
definition, how I look
absolutely,
at
that's what I'm
it, is
saying.
something small and doesn't have a great amount of
Something that
thought
doesn't
process.
put you at risk or put you out. Absolutely. Hey,
Well,
here's an extra $3 for a mocha.
but you giving out your kidney,
The
that's
impact-
life saving.
The impact is irrelevant. The act is random. It's random. Right? There you go. Thanks, Facebook user. Love you for that. Shayna says, the cup represents me in a moment of gratitude that I want to share. It is random and kind. Okay. But it's done to make me feel good because I think it's going to change their day. It's a random act of kindness for myself, not for the person drinking the coffee. Because little did you know, they left and they spilled the coffee as they were drinking it, and they got into an accident and killed 3 people. Great random act of kindness.
They would have bought it anyway. So what's the difference? You just.
But it's your fault now.
It's my fault.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you bought it. It was your cup. And you know what? All I wanted to do was change their day. And they end up killing 8 people.
I did change their day then.
Success. That's a random act of kindness. All right.
It wasn't the intention.
Live with that.
It wasn't the intention.
It doesn't matter.
What's your intention for giving a kidney?
Your intention is to make you feel good.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I remember. No, you did not listen to me. I said when I got it bought for me, how it made me feel. I want to give that feeling to other people. People deserve that. In my mind, people deserve something that's simple.
In your world.
In my world, right?
That's
That's what we're talking about. This show is called The Grounds. It isn't Kent's world. It's our world, and it's how I feel and how we differentiate how we see, because the world is different, right? So people can look at it from my standpoint and go, I think Scott's crazy, or I think Scott's right, or Kent's crazy, Kent's right.
Your dad says random act is defined as premeditated, inconsistent action designed to offer kindness towards the outside world. Giving a kidney to somebody, that's it. It was non-premeditated. Hey, I woke up, guy needs a kidney, I got one, I'll give it to you. I'll go see if it fits. If it fits, you can wear it. That's non-premeditated.
But there's a lot of thought involved in that. You're still, if you go, I'm going to decide to give it, you're going to still think about that quite in depth.
You still think about the cup of coffee you gave 3 weeks ago to somebody.
No, I don't. I forgot about it.
No, you haven't.
I forget. I remember the person that bought me one, though.
Yeah.
I remember how I felt. Hence the reason I give back.
So every day they wake up and they're like, I'm alive. Thank God for that kidney that guy gave me.
Hey, Scott,
Yeah.
You can't buy me a cup of coffee, but you can send me a couple of pounds of beans of coffee, and it'll make you feel so much better. So I just want to.
No. It's got to be right here and now. Right here and now.
All right. Okay. Next time I'm in town.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
please.
Shayna asks, why would the energy exchange have to only be beneficial to one party?
I didn't say it had to be.
No, she's pointing that question to me.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Deke is being stupid in Shayna's world.
They can't fix it. Sorry, Shayna.
Yeah, can't fix it. I've been trying, guys. I've been trying.
You just can't. Yeah, listen. Anytime that there's an energy exchange, it affects the 2, 3, 4, 5. It affects the people in that circle, right? But I'm saying that the intent of that energy exchange is self-driven. Is self-driven, right? Just like Scott said, I do it because of the way that I felt, and I want somebody to feel that way. So if he wouldn't have said, I want somebody to feel that way, I'll say, well, then that's selfless. But he wants them to. So that's very selfish. And that's why I say a lot of our quote unquote random acts of kindness.
Why is it selfish that I want somebody to feel good? It's not. I want someone to feel good because I remember how it made me feel. I don't understand how it would be considered selfish. That's selfless. I'm going to give to somebody because I know how it made me feel, and I want them to feel that way. I'm trying to give.
I want them to feel that way.
I'd like to have. Yes, I want them to feel. Yeah, I see what you're saying. but I think you're going too deep with it. And, it's as simple and it's on a surface. It's just, this is what it is. There's nothing, no underlying undertones. There's no underlying reasons for doing it other than how it made me feel. And I'd like to give that back to people. Just like here, a daily dose of encouragement. We want to try to help people one person at a time, one day at a time, one comment, one gift, whatever at a time.
But I do it because then I can say I've got 5.3 or 35.5 million listeners and I'm changing the world, baby. Makes me feel good.
Okay.
Right?
That's your world.
And a Facebook user says, well, first of all, Shayna says, no, he's being willfully ignorant.
He's not being stupid. He's being
willfully.
We're going to call it he's deeking out.
Another way to put that, Shayna, is he can't help it.
Yeah, he can't help himself.
Yeah.
Stupid is as stupid does.
Facebook user, and I'm going to guess Facebook user is probably a great psychologist. Doctor of psychology out there. It's probably
you don't know. It could be Carl Jung come back. That's right. Carl Jung come back from the dead.
That's it. And anyway, it makes you feel good to give. Your brain will only allow. Well, my gosh, will only allow actions of reward of some level. And Shayna says it's only creepy if I return.
If a return is expected.
Right. Deacon out. That's right. Oh yeah. All day. All day. No, I just think that I think we as people have to practice more mindfulness, right? And I'm saying that a lot of these quote unquote random acts of kindness, right, is when you're buying a cup of coffee for somebody is premeditated. Because as you're driving up, you're going, you know what? I think I'm going to buy a cup. I'm just going to buy whoever's behind me a cup of coffee. That's premeditated. Hey, Lisa.
I was going to say it's Lisa. That's our Facebook user. Good morning, Lisa. Long time no speak.
Yeah.
So, Deke, I hear what you're saying, Deke, and obviously you have to think about it before you buy someone a cup of coffee. But I would say sometimes, there's big differences between I'm pulling into the restaurant and I'm gonna buy somebody's lunch today while I'm in there versus I'm sitting there and just all of a sudden I go, you know what? I heard those people talking. Sounds like they're having a rough day. I'm going to pay their bill. So I think it could go either way. But yeah, and again, I don't know. I guess at the end of the day, for me, we're splitting hairs. If somebody does something nice, I don't really care what their motivation. If somebody bought me a car because it made them feel better, I'd be totally fine with that.
Oh yeah.
They took it on a whole different level. Coffee to a car.
Hey, if it makes you feel better, I'll be happy to help you out. Right.
Right. To me, that's practicing mindfulness. That's being present. Right. That is, and we don't do it. What I'm saying is, and I'm not saying, Scott and I, listen, if you guys understood, Scott and I are like kindred spirit, like brothers, right?
A lot closer than you guys would ever imagine, honestly. Great as we can just sit here and hammer each other. Yeah. And then after the show, it's like, all right. I felt the same as you, but I just had to hit you hard, brother. I'm sorry.
Well, no.
But Scott ain't buying Deke a cup of coffee today. I can tell you that right now.
That's not true. Listen. This is the truth. Is that Scott and I talk several times throughout the week to talk, and this show consumes us because we love this. We love stretching each other's brain to go. Wait a minute, I didn't. After the show,
how many times during the show did I say that? I go, holy shit, I didn't think about it that. And that's the whole reason for me. In the comments I make, some of them I do intentionally to really incite Deke, right? But and some comments I make are ignorant because I don't know. But you know what? I know that, but I keep going. But
that's why it's the grounds.
It's just two guys talking, and we make mistakes, and we keep trying to trudge forward, right? And we're trying to help people understand that keep trudging forward. You got no place else to go, right? And what are we here about? To help people, right? To help people trudge forward.
That's it.
Right. And if it's buying them a cup of coffee or giving them a kidney, right? Trudging forward.
or anywhere in between. Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit in between. Go up a little bit because Shane, I think, made a comment before that. It's okay. Lisa said, it makes you feel good too. And that is a reward. It doesn't make the give less, but to pretend you get nothing out of it is denial.
That's right.
That's a good point.
Right. And then Shayna says, because we're actually past hour today.
I know. We're rolling.
Shayna says inspiration is random. And then Bob says, I have no doubt that giving a kidney makes the giver feel good, regardless of any premeditation on their part. But there is indeed premeditation involved. I agree 1,000% with that. You're not just going to wake up and be like, I'm going to give a kidney.
I think it's pre-medication.
Yeah, that's what he says. Any pre-medication.
Pre-medication.
I know, but he spelled it wrong. He knows what he's saying.
What? No.
Regardless of any pre-medication on their part, why would you pre-medicate?
Well,
if you woke up and gave a kidney?
You're not going into surgery without
Yeah, you better change up that letter, right?
I just say.
You better retype that up.
The show was perfect until then. We had a misspelled word, Deke.
He does laugh at us. He loves us. He loves us. Well, we are at the end of the hour today, guys. We appreciate all of you tuning in. And if you have any ideas, comments, thoughts, or topics you guys want to hit, you can always hit us up at the grounds at 216 the net.
Yeah,
drop us the line.
Info at 216 the net.
Info at 216 the net. We appreciate you guys tuning in today. And our show, like we said, was brought to you today by Cannabis CBD Shop here in McHenry at 818 Front Street.
Yeah.
So, guys, like always, ending the show. We love you. Thank you for tuning in. Go out there, try to help somebody, give a daily dose of encouragement. We love you all. Thanks for tuning in. And check out the rest of our shows for the day. Kent, you want to go ahead and let them know what we got coming in?
We got a bunch of shows. Bridge, Success. We got things.
Peace out, guys.
Well said, Deke. Good to see you guys.
We got things. Thanks for tuning in, Don.
Yeah, good to see you guys. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, we'll see you again soon, hopefully.
I hope so. Hopefully it won't be as long this time.